Okay, I was told that this base, which I did in my previous video, was tea. So of course I had to do a tutorial. This is my current full coverage go-to base makeup. After brows, I'm going to go in and prime with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder, and this is in the shade 8. I like using this because it has Upsolite, which actually helps soak up oil throughout the day. So this is a oily skin girl's best friend. So next up is foundation, and I stumbled upon the perfect combination for my oily skin. I have the One Size Turn Up the Base Full Beat Liquid Foundation in Dark Deep 25 and the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation in 12.5 Neutral. My reason for mixing these two was because one was too dark and one was too light. Somehow these work beautifully together and they help to keep my face matte all day. Now I'm going to do a little color correction with the Kosas Revealer Extra Bright Serum Powered Color Corrector, and this is in the shade Alchemy. Now we're going to go in with liquid bronzer. I'm using the Tarte Sculpt Tape Contour, and this is in the shade Rich Bronze. I typically don't go in straight on the face because with certain products it can lift your foundation, but I find that this one doesn't, so I'm going straight in on the face. But otherwise I would dab my brush onto the tube and apply it. For blush, I'm going in with the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush, and this is in the shade Grateful. A little bit goes a long way with this. I may have used too much. We will see. And I normally do a little blush draping, which is where the blush sits higher on the face. You bring it right under the eye, and you actually can bring it up some. And sometimes if I'm running late, I'll go ahead and actually put it on my eyelid. For concealer, I'm going in with the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. And this doesn't say full coverage, it says super coverage. This is in the shade Butterscotch. So with this concealer, you can conceal, contour, highlight, or retouch. And I've seen people use this all over the face as a foundation as well. But I love this formula. I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Setting Powder in the shade Kunafa. Sometimes this can be a little bit too dark or too yellow for me, so I will mix this with Blondie, or I think it's banana powder, banana cream, the banana one from Huda Beauty. And if that's not right in front of me, I'll grab the Laura Mercier Translucent Honey and mix that in. Now we're going to go in and set all that liquid bronzer, and I am using the One Size Made for Shade Bronze and Sculpt Trio, and this is in the shade Deep Trio. From this palette, I actually just go in with that top shade and that middle shade, and I just mix them together. Those shades, the top shade is Pay No Mind, and the middle shade is called Serve. And we're just going to go in and set and bronze up the forehead, the cheeks, the chin, and the nose. And about 70% of the time I do a full coverage, I'll go back in and bake at this point. So I'll go back in with that Huda Cunifer powder, and we're gonna snatch the nose a little bit on both sides. So I like to bake the bridge and tip of my nose, that inner under eye area, the chin, and my forehead, and then I'll go in and carve out my cheeks. So while this is baking, I'm going in with my blush, and I'm using the Tarte Glow Squad Volume 1 Face Palette. I'm going in with Luminous Raspberry, and I keep this towards the front of the cheek area and then just blend it back into the liquid blush that we used earlier. Okay, now it's time to get rid of this bake. So I go in with my pressed powder. This is the MAC NC45 Studio Fix powder. Dip my brush in, tap it, and I'm actually applying this shade and dusting away the excess powder. Now it's time to meld all of the powders together and get rid of any line of demarcation. So I go in with my all over face powder. This is the MAC NW43, and I go in and I literally just swirl it around and I buff my whole face. This blends everything together and gets rid of all of that harshness that you see. And I'll sit here and do this for 2 to 3 minutes until I get everything blended out just right. So you can stop here or add a highlight. So I picked up that same Tarte Glow Squad Volume 1 Face Palette, and I'm going into Golden Glow, and we're going to add just a touch of that at the very highest point of the cheek, right almost to the outer corner of the eye. Just like that. Then I'll bring it up to my brow bone and then above the eye and circle around. And we'll add just a tiny bit to the tip of the nose. and the highest part of the bridge of the nose. We've got to get rid of this powder look, so we have to melt the powder into the face. I'm going to go in with the MAC Fix Plus, and I'm not just going to spray a little. I'm literally going to wet my face with this. Got my little fan, and we're going to dry our face. And now we've successfully melted the powder into the skin, and we have a healthy glow, not a powdery look. So from here, I'll take the sponge that I use for my concealer. I'll just take the back of it, and I'm kind of just, if there's any like water droplets that I see, I kind of just press that into the skin. And my very last step, I go in with the One Size Until Dawn Mattifying Setting Spray. And I spray this just in the middle, just the T-zone where I get oily. So that's it, guys. This is my go-to base routine.